This video is going to continue on our discussion about pointers in C++. So in the last video we talked about memory locations in C++ and how we can figure out the address location of the variable that we made by just using the and symbol, and that will give us the actual address location. Well, now we want to save that location, right, into a variable. Well, that's exactly what a pointer is. A pointer is just saving that value of the address into another variable. So the syntax for it is you have your data type. So right, if we're going to make an int, it's still going to be an int. You have your variable name, and you'll notice we have this asterisk between it. And that asterisk can go both places. It could go on there's actually 3 locations. It could go on the data type, it could go on the variable, and it could be off in between. So this is our code from last video, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide some of it because we don't need to see all of it for this, what we're going to just do right now. So I'm just going to, and what I did there was I just highlighted what I wanted, and I did Control Shift and / and that automatically put it into a block code or block comment. And then what we want to do is we want to create a new variable. And so I'm just going to create an int, and I'm going to have it be a pointer and use like a P or a PTR to kind of signify that the variable is going to be a pointer. We could also, I could say pointer for main X, right? That would be the most explicit. That's telling me when I come back to this that is a pointer pointing to the main X variable, so that I know without having to actually look at the data that that's what it is. And when I mentioned that you could have the asterisk on both the data type, right, or on this, or I could have it in between, you'll see all of these, it's not giving me any errors, right? I suggest leaving it on the actual variable name, because if I added another pointer, right, you'll see doing this, it's like, is this a pointer or is this not a pointer? You don't really know, it's not explicit, right? You know, now is it a pointer? Are they both pointers? Is just one a pointer? It's always better to be explicit on what you're doing and making sure that, so that way if you put it on the variable name, it's very explicit that that is a pointer and you know it's making a pointer. But we only need one for this. And what we're going to do is we're going to set that pointer, and we're going to set it to the address of X. And something's wrong, and I always think it's a good idea to, highlight it, say, oh, what's wrong? So this is saying cannot resolve symbol pointer main X. And that's because I spelt it differently than I did here, right? So let's do that. And now we have it spelled correctly. And so we're having our pointer equal to main X. And what this should be doing is going to give us the address of main X. So now if I print this out, and we don't need to go do it in the function anymore, so I'm going to hide that, and we don't need to print this value anymore. So what this is going to print out is the value of main X here and the address of main X. And just so we could fix the typo that I didn't see until after I did that video. So we're going to print it out again. And now we're going to print out our pointer, right? So we'll say our pointer main X. Let's have some comments. So value of pointer main X. And we'll also print out the address. Just to make these a little more legible, right? Because I can do this. You can have them on as many lines as you want, and it'll just make it a little bit more readable so that it's big on the screen. So I'm going to print out the and symbol, right, for pointer main x. So right, all we're doing is printing out main x, what the value is, and what the address is of main, and then we're printing out the pointer, the value of pointer, and the value of the address of pointer. And so you can see here, right, main is 2, and the address is this in DC. And so you can see the value of pointer is DC, and then the address of pointer is something completely different, right? So if we wanted to actually get what the value of what's pointed to in there, what we would add is the asterisk. So what we're going to do is add to here the value of the asterisk of pointer. And we'll add that. And what that's doing is going to print out back what the value of main x is, right? So you can see here, right, this equals this, because they're the same, right? The pointer is pointing to the address location of main x. The main x has its own address location, completely separate from the other one. And if you use the asterisk, it is referring back to the value that is in the address location. So if we look at the wording of this, because I get confused, and I will tell you that this is the most confusing part of this whole thing, is the asterisk and the and when to use when, what to get what. And so the asterisk is to say go there, and the and symbol is where is it. I saw that once and I was like, oh, that helps my little brain. So, right, this returns the value that is in the address. It says go to this address and get me the value. That's the asterisk. And the and symbol says where is this location, and give me the location. So and symbol, give me the location. The asterisk, give me the value from the location. The and symbol is called an address of operator, and it's the same that we use in the reference things. And then the asterisk is called a dereference operator, which can be a little bit confusing in my opinion. So pointers can be very confusing, and so I really suggest that you go and play around with changing values, printing out the address locations, experiment with that, just so you could kind of see what's going on with the address locations and telling the difference between the, pointer and like the and symbol where you're getting the address, the asterisk where you're getting the data from the address, and without it where you're just getting the value, right? So understanding those differences is a suggestion I have for you, just to go play around and figure what's going on. So see you in the next video.